Have you ever felt this before? One evening you decide to fast. The first few hours feel surprisingly easy, and then suddenly hunger hits. Your stomach growls, your hands and feet feel cold, your mind slows down, your breath starts to smell different. You lose focus, get irritable, and there's only one thought looping in your head: eat something right now. You begin to question yourself. Is your body pushing back? Is fasting a mistake? But if you look at it from a different perspective, a very Japanese way of seeing things, what you're experiencing isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of transition. Your body isn't breaking. It's entering a necessary space, a temporary pause to reset, to eliminate excess, to operate more efficiently. In science, this moment has a clear name: the metabolic switch. After about 10 to 12 hours without energy intake, your body begins to move away from its Pravichni sugar-burning mode and gradually shifts into an entirely different system, burning fat to survive. This isn't just a change in fuel, it's a shift in how your body operates, how energy is produced, and how you experience yourself. Japanese philosophy holds a simple principle: Hara, Hachi, eat until you're 80% full, not to deprive yourself, but to create space. And that space is where the body functions more cleanly, more precisely, and more sustainably. Fasting works the same way. It's not deprivation. It's a deliberate way of creating biological space, so your body can activate its deepest survival mechanisms, mechanisms that have existed for thousands of years, but have been forgotten in modern life. Once you understand this, you stop fearing those initial discomforts. You realize they're not signs that you're getting weaker. They're signs that your body is starting to lock in. Before we go deeper, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss insights that can completely change how you understand your body and how you live every day.
1. The core mechanism. From sugar to fat. The principle of energy minimalism. What you're experiencing is a profound internal shift, even if on the surface it just feels like hunger and fatigue. When you stop eating for several hours, glycogen, your stored form of sugar, begins to run low. At that point, your body has to make a critical decision. It can't rely on sugar the way it used to, so it pivots. Your body starts burning fat for energy, and from that process, a new fuel source is created: ketones. Unlike sugar, ketones provide a very different state of energy. It becomes more stable, less volatile, no more spikes and crashes. You're no longer trapped in the cycle of eat, energy spike, crash, cravings. Instead, you experience a steady, quiet, but sustained flow of energy. From a Japanese minimalist perspective, this is clean energy. No excess, no noise, only what's essential for efficient function. At the same time, your body activates mechanisms that are rarely used under normal conditions. Growth hormone begins to rise, helping preserve muscle mass and preventing the breakdown many people fear. Another critical process also kicks in: autophagy, your body's cellular cleanup system. Old, damaged, and inefficient components are broken down and recycled. Think of it like a deep osoji cleaning in Japanese culture, where everything is reset, organized, and optimized. You might feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort isn't weakness. It's a signal that your body is moving from a state of excess into a state of refinement. When this process fully unfolds, the shift becomes obvious: a lighter body, a clearer mind, more stable energy. You're no longer dependent on constant eating just to stay sharp. 2. Fasting stages. How your body changes over time. Your body doesn't change randomly during fasting. Everything follows a structured timeline, almost like a pre-programmed sequence. 0 to 6 hours. You're still running on your last meal. Glucose is available and everything feels normal. 6 to 12 hours. Your liver begins using stored glycogen. Hunger becomes more noticeable, but this is just a familiar biological signal, not true energy deficiency. 12 to 16 hours, a major turning point. The metabolic switch activates. your body starts shifting from sugar to fat burning. Ketones begin to rise. You may feel slightly fatigued as your body learns to use this new fuel. 16 to 24 hours. Deeper internal changes begin. Autophagy increases. Old and inefficient cells are cleared out. Growth hormone rises significantly, helping preserve muscle and support recovery. This is no longer just about fat loss, it's internal restructuring. 24 to 48 hours. Fat burning deepens. Energy systems stabilize further. Your immune system begins partial renewal through cellular regeneration processes. What matters isn't how long you can fast, it's whether you understand where you are in the process. Once you recognize each stage, you stop panicking over hunger, fatigue, or lack of focus. You're not losing control, you're moving step by step through a precise biological system. And when you understand this timeline, you stop reacting emotionally. You start adjusting intentionally, knowing when to continue, when to stop, and most importantly, how to stay in control instead of being controlled.
3. Common fasting mistakes. You can be disciplined, consistent, and still get poor results if you're doing it wrong. The first mistake is underestimating small things. You're fasting but still drinking soda, sweetened coffee, or anything with calories. Your body doesn't care what you call it. If energy comes in, insulin rises, and your fast is instantly broken. Fat burning stops before it even gets going. The second mistake happens right after the fast. You overcompensate, eating too fast, too much, more than usual. At this point, your body is highly insulin sensitive. A large intake, especially carbs and sugar, spikes insulin and pushes your body back into fat storage quickly. You feel like you've earned it, but your body is being reset to square one. Another overlooked issue is electrolyte imbalance. During fasting, you lose more water and minerals. Fatigue, dizziness, headaches, these aren't always from lack of calories, but often from low sodium or potassium. You're not weak, you're just missing key elements your body needs to function properly. Some people take it too far, fasting too long, too aggressively, without giving the body time to adapt. Instead of better fat burning, the result is prolonged fatigue, reduced performance, and even hormonal disruption. And the biggest mistake isn't the method, it's how you treat your body. Ignoring its signals, forcing instead of observing, turning fasting into a test of willpower instead of a process of understanding and working with your biology.
Number 4. How to optimize fasting for fat loss and muscle preservation. Better results don't come from longer fasts, they come from doing it right. It starts with your meals. Prioritize enough protein so your body has the building blocks to maintain and repair muscle. Without it, your body won't just burn fat, it will break down muscle too. Add healthy fats, omega-3s, olive oil, nuts. These provide stable energy, help you stay full longer, and support smoother metabolic transitions. Fasting doesn't mean you stop moving. In fact, resistance training is essential if you want to keep muscle. Muscle exists because it's used. Give your body the right stimulus and it will preserve it instead of cutting it away. Light walking during a fast is also highly effective. Your body is already primed to burn fat. You're simply taking advantage of the timing. Hydration and electrolytes matter more than most people realize. Fasting increases sodium and potassium loss. Even a small deficiency can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and poor focus. Proper hydration keeps your system stable and avoids unnecessary discomfort. Consistency is another key. Eat at the same time each day to align with your circadian rhythm. Your body thrives on rhythm. When your schedule is stable, hormones, digestion, and energy all function more smoothly. When everything is aligned, the result isn't just weight loss. You lose fat while preserving muscle. Your body becomes leaner, more defined, your energy stabilizes, and you're no longer dependent on constant eating just to feel alert.
5. Who should not fast or should be cautious? Fasting is powerful, but it's not for everyone, at least not right away. If you're underweight or malnourished, fasting is not appropriate. Your body already lacks the energy and nutrients it needs. Extending periods without food will only worsen the imbalance, affecting muscle, hormones, and immunity. If you have a history of eating disorders, be extremely cautious. Fasting can unintentionally trigger restrictive patterns. What you need isn't tighter control, it's a stable, healthy relationship with food. For women, there are phases where the body needs protection, not optimization. Pregnancy and breastfeeding are not the time to fast. Your body isn't just supporting you, it's supporting another life. If you have underlying conditions like diabetes, especially if you're on medication, or low blood pressure, fasting needs careful supervision. Blood sugar and blood pressure shifts during fasting can go beyond what your body can safely regulate on its own. Even if you're healthy, how you start matters. You don't need to jump into extreme protocols like 20-hour fasts or OMAD right away. Your body needs time to adapt. Start light, build gradually, observe, and adjust. And remember, fasting is just a tool. It's not a requirement, and it's not the only path to better health or a better body.
6. How to start fasting safely and sustainably. You don't have to go extreme to see results. How you begin will determine how long you can actually stick with it. Start simple, with a clear progression. Ease your body into a rhythm of 12 hours of eating and 12 hours of fasting. When that feels natural, extend it to 14, then 16 hours. Each step isn't about pushing harder, it's about teaching your body how to adapt. Don't rush into aggressive protocols like 20-hour fasts or OMAD if you're not ready. Skipping steps won't get you there faster. It only puts your body under stress, makes you more likely to quit, and pulls you back into old habits. Throughout the process, pay close, honest attention to your body. Mild hunger and slight fatigue in the beginning are normal, but if you feel drained, persistently dizzy, or unable to focus, that's a signal to adjust. Fasting isn't about ignoring your body, it's about understanding it. One factor people often overlook, but that directly affects your results, is sleep. When you're sleep deprived, cortisol rises, your body holds onto fat more easily, and it struggles to switch into fat burning mode. You can fast perfectly, but without enough sleep, your progress will slow down. Patience is non-negotiable. Your body typically needs 1 to 2 weeks to fully adapt to a new rhythm. During that time, you may notice shifts in energy, hunger, and even mood. That's not failure, it's your body recalibrating. Once you truly understand this, fasting stops feeling like a test of willpower. You're not enduring hunger to win, you're training your body to operate more efficiently.
8 signs your fasting is working. Sign 1. Hunger comes in waves, not a steady climb. You'll start to notice something very different from before. Hunger doesn't linger endlessly, it comes in waves, then fades away. At first, it might feel like your body is running low on energy, but if you don't immediately eat, something interesting happens. The hunger peaks, then gradually disappears, replaced by a normal, sometimes even sharper state of focus. This isn't random. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, follows your old eating schedule. If you used to eat at noon every day, your body will remind you at that exact time. But when you don't respond by eating, the signal fades on its own. More importantly, your body is relearning how to function without constant fuel intake. It no longer panics when food isn't immediately available. Instead, it becomes more flexible in using stored energy. You'll begin to recognize a clear cycle. Hunger rises, peaks, then disappears, followed by a steady, focused state. This is a sign your body is resetting its internal clock, breaking free from old eating patterns. Once you understand this, hunger stops controlling you. You don't have to react every time it shows up. You observe it, let it pass, and keep moving forward.
Sign 2. Hunger decreases after 24 hours. Once you pass the 24-hour mark, you may notice a surprising shift. Your hunger actually becomes less intense. This might sound counterintuitive. You may have believed the longer you fast, the hungrier you get. But the body doesn't work that way. Ghrelin levels begin to drop when you stop triggering them with habitual eating. Those scheduled hunger windows lose their grip. At the same time, ketones rise and provide a steady alternative fuel source. They don't just power your brain and body, they also naturally suppress hunger. You no longer feel the urgent need to eat just to stay alert. Another key factor is blood sugar stability. Without constant intake, especially carbs and sugar, you avoid the spikes and crashes. The result is a very different internal state, calmer, clearer, and more stable. What you feel isn't just reduced hunger, you feel more in control. You're no longer pulled around by sudden cravings. You decide when to eat instead of reacting to impulses. This marks a powerful shift, both physically and mentally. You're no longer dependent on food to stay balanced. Your body has learned to regulate itself from within. At this point, fasting stops feeling like effort. It becomes a new rhythm, one where you're more focused, intentional, and grounded in your choices.
Sign 3. Your breath has a metallic or slightly fruity smell. You may start to notice a subtle but unusual change in your breath, a faint metallic or slightly fruity scent. It's not about oral hygiene, it's coming from within. This is a clear sign your body is producing ketones, especially acetone, and releasing them through your breath. As your body shifts into fat-burning mode, some ketones are exhaled. You can't see the process, but your body is signaling the shift. This typically shows up around 12 to 16 hours into fasting, right when your body begins moving away from glucose and into true fat burning. This isn't a minor detail, it's a key biological milestone. You're no longer trying to fast, you've entered a state where your body is actively using fat for fuel. Some people feel uncomfortable with the smell and instinctively try to mask it with gum, mints, or sweetened drinks. But those quick fixes can disrupt the very process you've just activated. Even a small amount of sugar can push your body back into glucose burning mode. A better, simpler solution? Drink water or unsweetened tea. Staying hydrated helps reduce the smell and supports a smoother metabolic transition. Once you understand what this sign means, it stops being annoying. It becomes confirmation that your body is moving in the right direction. You're not just fasting, you're actively burning fat, and your body is making that clear.
Sign 4. Initial fatigue to stable energy. There's a phase where things don't feel smooth. Fatigue sets in, your mind feels slower, and your energy noticeably dips. This isn't a sign you're doing it wrong, it's the transition point between two energy systems. At this stage, your blood sugar is dropping, while ketone production hasn't fully ramped up yet. It's like your body is shifting gears but hasn't quite caught the rhythm. You may feel unfocused, sluggish, even doubtful about what you're doing. If you move through this phase correctly, a clear shift follows. Your energy stabilizes. No more sharp spikes and crashes from sugar dependency. No more midday burnout. Instead, you experience a steady, sustained flow of energy with minimal fluctuations. This is when your body has adapted. Ketones become the primary fuel source, delivering consistent energy to both your brain and body. You can work longer without being interrupted by hunger or sudden energy drops. Internally, important changes are also happening. Growth hormone levels can increase by 3 to 5 times, helping preserve muscle and support recovery. Your body isn't just maintaining, it's optimizing how it uses energy. When you understand this phase, you won't quit just because of early discomfort. You'll recognize it as a necessary transition toward a more stable state. You're no longer relying on food to boost your energy. You're generating it from within, more consistently and more sustainably.
Sign 5. Cold hands and feet. Your body's energy-saving mode. You may notice a subtle but uncomfortable shift. Your hands and feet feel colder than usual, even though nothing in your environment has changed. This isn't a sign that you're getting weaker. As insulin levels drop, your body automatically switches into an energy conservation mode. It reduces heat production and prioritizes blood flow to vital organs like the brain, heart, and internal systems. The extremities, your hands and feet, temporarily become less of a priority. This is an ancient survival response. Your body is acting the way humans once did in times of food scarcity. When energy isn't coming in from the outside, it preserves what matters most to keep you alive. The cold sensation can make you feel like something is wrong, but once you understand the mechanism, you'll see it differently. This is a sign that your body is adapting and optimizing energy use in an intelligent way. You don't need anything complicated to manage it. Keeping yourself warm is simple but effective. A jacket, a warm drink, these can bring immediate comfort. Light movement like walking or stretching also helps improve circulation and bring warmth back to your limbs. You don't need to fight this feeling. You just need to understand it and support your body through the adjustment phase. As you continue properly, your body will gradually rebalance. The cold sensation fades as adaptation completes, and you move into a more stable state. You're not losing energy, you're learning how to use it more efficiently.
Sign 6. Brain fog to sharp mental clarity. There will be a phase where your mind feels heavy, focus becomes difficult, thinking slows down, and it's as if a layer of fog has settled over your brain. This is the moment your body is leaving its familiar fuel source, but hasn't fully established a new one yet. As blood sugar drops, your brain doesn't immediately run smoothly on alternative fuel. You may feel distracted, less productive, and mentally sluggish. This stage can easily make you think fasting is hurting your performance. But if you move through this transition, something entirely different emerges. As ketone levels rise, especially BHB, beta-hydroxybutyrate, your brain begins using them as its primary fuel. This is a cleaner, more stable energy source that allows your mind to function more smoothly. It's not just about fuel. BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, also increases, supporting memory and neural connectivity. Your brain doesn't just recover, it upgrades, and you'll feel the difference clearly. Your focus deepens, your thinking becomes clearer, sharper. You process information faster and with less distraction. Tasks that require concentration begin to flow instead of fragment. This is one of the most overlooked yet powerful benefits of fasting done right. You're not just changing your body, you're upgrading how your brain operates. Once you understand this process, you won't panic when the initial fog appears. You'll recognize it as a necessary transition before reaching a higher level of clarity. You're not losing focus, you're building a more stable and sharper one.
Sign 7. Mild breakouts. Your body is clearing out. You may notice changes in your skin during fasting. A few small breakouts appear, your complexion looks slightly dull, or there's a mild itchiness. It's easy to assume your body is reacting negatively. In reality, this is often a sign that something is happening beneath the surface. When autophagy is activated, your body begins clearing out old, inefficient components and even substances stored in fat tissue. As fat is mobilized for energy, some of these compounds are released into circulation. Your body needs pathways to eliminate them, and your skin can become one of those secondary exits. That's why you might see mild acne or temporary skin changes. This isn't just a skin issue. It reflects an internal process. These symptoms usually don't last. Breakouts tend to be mild and fade as your body completes part of its adaptation and detox process. If you maintain consistent habits, stay hydrated, and avoid over-treating your skin, things will gradually rebalance. What matters most is how you interpret this signal. There's no need to panic or quit just because of a few surface changes. Your body is processing what has built up over time, and that process needs an outlet. Once you move through this phase, you'll notice a clearer result. Your skin becomes cleaner and more stable, not just on the surface, but from within.
You're not just changing how you look, you're giving your body the chance to cleanse and reset itself naturally.
Sign 8. Mood swings. Your nervous system is adapting. You may notice your mood shifting more than usual during fasting. You feel more irritable, more sensitive, sometimes anxious without a clear reason. This is a biological response, not a lack of willpower. When you extend your fasting window, the HPA axis is activated and your body enters a mild alert state to adapt. Cortisol rises moderately, helping maintain energy and alertness during the transition. But this also comes with emotional fluctuations. You may react more quickly, lose patience over small things. That doesn't mean fasting isn't right for you. It's a sign your nervous system is recalibrating, learning to function without constant external energy input. If you move through this phase without quitting prematurely, a different state begins to emerge. Your mood stabilizes, emotional reactions slow down, creating a clearer pause before you respond. Along with that comes a growing sense of calm and clarity. You're less pulled around by small disturbances. Instead, you feel more grounded, less affected by external triggers. The key is not to mistake the transition for the final outcome. The initial instability isn't the destination, it's the bridge toward a more balanced nervous system. Once you understand this, you won't react impulsively to temporary emotions. You observe, stay steady, and allow your body to complete its adaptation. You're not just changing how you eat, you're reshaping how your nervous system responds to energy, stress, and life itself.
You're not just fasting, you're rewiring how your body works. You've just walked through the full journey your body experiences during fasting, from the initial reactions to the deeper internal changes. What matters most isn't each individual detail, but how you understand the process as a whole. The discomfort you feel isn't failure. Hunger, fatigue, coldness, brain fog, mood shifts, these are all part of adaptation. Your body isn't working against you, it's learning to operate more efficiently. When you understand the shift from burning sugar to burning fat, you stop feeling lost. When you recognize each stage, you know where you are. And when you notice signs like wave-like hunger, stable energy, and sharper focus, you'll know you're on the right path. Fasting isn't just about not eating. It's about resetting how your body uses energy. You're not just losing weight, you're training your body to become more flexible, more stable, and less dependent on constant intake. The real difference isn't how long you can fast, it's whether you do it correctly. Avoiding common mistakes, optimizing nutrition, moving your body wisely, and starting with the right approach will determine your results. You don't need to be extreme. You don't need to rush. You need to do it right and stay consistent long enough for your body to adapt. When you do, the shift becomes undeniable. You gain control over hunger, over energy, and most importantly, over your own body. This isn't just a physical transformation, it's a complete upgrade in how you function every day.